Where's he going with this shit?
Oh no, you belong to somebody new.
'Cause tonight you belong to me. I'm from One West headquarters. Follow my captain's orders. Live in the land of pain and torture. No straw, but they want their mortar. Tell Trump, fuck borders. P.S. Prepare for slaughter. Never take their sons and daughters. Never give them alls in return. Niggas never wanna learn. Till they laying in the urn. Babylon, Babylon, Babylon. You got to burn. Even if I gotta go with it. So fuck it, is you with it? Niggas never feel froggy, they just wanna rip it. If I say a bad bitch, then I gotta rip it. Your lip looking like the Red Sea when I split it. Tell me why that flow so vicious. Every time he switches, beat a nigga ass like mama did with switches. You niggas look a real.
Shalom. You tune in live to another episode of the former of all things, Salt of the Earth series. You understand? We highlight our inventions, the creations of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and how it has absolutely revolutionized and shaped the world that you see around you today throughout all generations. You understand all the civilizations, the creations of God's chosen people have completely revolutionized the world. You understand? So many inventions, so many creations that you would not even know. When the Bible talks about the form of all things, you understand, you would not even realize that what the Bible is actually speaking of is that God made one nation of people that are the creators, that are the inventors, that are all of the people that create and make the world nice and wonderful and gives it its flavor and its ability, its style. You understand? We're going to start as we do as always. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 16 says the portion of Jacob is not like them, meaning the portion of the world is not like them. It isn't like the rest of the world. You understand? For he, Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel after he wrestled with that angel all night, Jacob was a black man, or Yaquab in the Hebrew, means to supplant. You understand? His name was changed to Israel or Yasha'alo, a prince with power. For he is the former, the creator, the father of all things. Everything good and wonderful that gives the earth its flavor. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The children of Israel reproduce the seed of Jacob or God's chosen people on the earth. All people are not God's chosen people. Only these 12 tribes here, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, so-called Haitians, so-called Negroes, West Indians of North, South, Central America, the Caribbean, and their descendants and their children. This is the rod of the Lord's inheritance, meaning the man, the lineage of the men, the seed, that sperm that reproduces God's chosen people on the earth, men and women. You understand? The fathers of these 12 tribes, our forefather Jacob, you understand, is the former of all things. We are the creators, the inventors of all things that are worthwhile and that revolutionize and make life so much better for every other people on the planet. And today, we are talking about a brother who did none other than just that. You understand? One of the most prolific inventions of all times that you can see has continued to be built upon and built upon and built upon many, many centuries and generations after this brother's creation. I'm gonna make sure I get his brother's name. You understand? His name is Guillermo Gonzalez Camarena, or Guillermo Gonzalez Camarena in English, even though it's not an English name. It's an ISSACHARITE. He's a Mexican electrical engineer. You understand? He was the inventor of a color wheel type of color vision. He invented the colored wheel. This is the father of the colored TV. That's right. An ISSACHARITE brother, a so-called Mexican of the tribe of Issachar, one of God's chosen people. You understand? Wonderful brothers, wonderful tribe, the tribe of Issachar. This brother invented the color TV. He is the father of the color TV. This brother right here, let's get you a picture of him. He's the father of the color TV, Guillermo. This brother right here, ISSACHARITE, Guillermo Gonzalez Camarena. the father of the color TV. You see these colored swatches when you look on TV back, like when TV used to go off after they would play the national anthem after about 9 o'clock, every channel will go off. Well, TV has been so revolutionized by the inventions of the children of Israel, chiefly this brother here, Dr. Shirley Jackson, made the fiber optic cables so you can get your high-speed internet and your HDMI cords. So much these inventions of God's chosen people have created. This brother right here, here's another picture of him. You understand? 1917, great inventor, the tribe of Issachar, so-called Mexican brother, you understand? He invented the color TV swatches so that you can have that first color TV. You understand? This is what it looked like before. This brother saw it, invented it, and now you get TVs like this. You understand? Coming into this from the old black and white picture tubes, how they used to call them. Now you're watching TV in color. He invented the color palettes and color swatches so that your old black and white and gray TVs, you understand, would now have color to them. You understand? You thank this brother. You understand? This brother right here, he invented it. It's what it originally looked like. More pictures of this brother here. You understand? More pictures of him. And then later on, now you get this. You get all of these. This is what it became. Those TVs that you see now, you got HDMI. Now you got flat screens, you got high definitions, you got picture quality. You understand? You're watching movies. Now they got 4K and plasma, then 320i, then you got 480, then it went to 720, then 1080i, 1080p, 1400, 2100, 2700, 4K, all of the builds on the inventions that this brother created. Without a father, you would not have all of these improvements for the future generations. You understand? This brother made a hell of an invention. Without these 12 tribes, without so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, without Jacob, who is the rod of God's inheritance, without so-called Blacks and Hispanics, without Mexicans reproducing God's royal seed on the earth, Puerto Ricans and Haitians and Dominicans and Jamaicans and Trinidadians and Haitians and West Indians and Brazilians and Cubans and Central and South Americans and Guatemalans and El Salvadorians and Native Americans, Central and South American and Seminoles and the Osage and Wampanoag and the Navajo and the Cheyenne and the Arapaho. You understand? And the Lakota and the Oglala and the Sioux. Without God's chosen people, these inventions and things, just think of how many TVs. At one point in time, everybody listened to the radio. Think of how many TVs is in everybody's house now. Think of how many colored TVs is in everybody's house. You understand? From the phone to the cell phone invented by a black man, Jesse Russell. You understand? The Super Soaker invented by a black man, Lonnie Johnson. The color TV invented by this brother, Guillermo Camarena. You understand? Guillermo Gonzalez Camarena. This brother invented a hell of an invention. TV selling left and right. HD, HDMI mounted on the wall, 55-inch, big screens, flat screens. Even from the days of the old fat screen TVs, none of that would be possible or as popular as it is today for all of these companies, Westinghouse and Vizio, and everybody, and MAGNAVOX and Sharp and Sony and Panasonic, all of the companies now that build on the invention that was created by this brother right here from the tribe of Issachar. You understand? God said he made one people above all people on the face of the earth. This is what the Lord meant. There's one people who they create something and it completely revolutionizes the world. You understand? Like the brother Jerry Lawson who made the video game cartridge. Without the 12 tribes of Israel, you wouldn't have a color TV, you wouldn't have a cell phone, you wouldn't have a video game cartridge, you wouldn't have a laptop, your food could not be transported, your medicine could not be transported long distances. You wouldn't have a Super Soaker. You wouldn't have video game consoles. You wouldn't have fiber optic cables, the telephone, the touch tone telephone, caller ID, fiber optic cables for your Ethernet cords and your high-speed internet. You wouldn't have any of that without God's chosen people. Without the chosen people of God that he said in Deuteronomy 7:6, for thou art a holy people. God made one people holy. All people are not holy. Unto the Lord thy God. There's one people that belong to the Lord. That's these 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. The Lord thy God, the God of the Mexicans, the God of the Puerto Ricans, the God of the Negro, the God of the Native American, the Seminole and North American Indian, the God of the Tainos and the Arawaks, not the idols that we worship, but the God of our fathers in this Bible that it talks about, not who you've been taught in Christianity. The God, the Lord thy God, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth. This is why they must oppress and starve and crush our people and flood drugs and create drug cartels and oppress and rob us. Because if we were left alone to just serve our God, we would rise above them in no time. These are just a few of the inventions that our people invented. This brother right here invented the color television, the color swatches for you to get your television. There would be no no color televisions without this brother right here from the tribe of Issachar. Like, share, subscribe. You on Spotify, like and share. If you're listening to this on our podcast, you go to ISUPK Virginia, No Cowards Richmond. You can see the videos and see all the pictures that I'm showing here. If you're on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, or you watching this on our Tumblr page, like, share, and subscribe. You go right to ISUPK Virginia. You want to get in this truth. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are God's chosen people. ISUPK.com. You search for ISUPK Virginia. We got schools all over Europe, schools all over Central South America, all up and down North America, all throughout the Caribbean. You understand? Like, share, subscribe, leave your comments. Let us know what you thought. Contact the school. You've been tuned into another episode of the former of all things. This is Guillermo Gonzalez Camarena, the inventor of the colored television, those color swatches for the color TV. Shalom.